love wrestling.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything.
You can't just wear it.
I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Not sure what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered. Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Turn up the volume for a night of rock classics with Jersey Boulevard, the tribute to Bon Jovi and Journey, live November 7th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Feel the energy of legendary hits like Living on a Prayer and Don't Stop Believing. Performed with powerhouse vocals and authentic stage presence. Tickets from just $32.50. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Jersey Boulevard, the tribute to Bon Jovi and Journey, November 7th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
Quick opinions and fun times. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
That's 11:02. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Go check them out. Only available in Leduc or online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Great show coming up for you today. Of course, we're going to continue our look around the NFL with all that is going on. And we've been doing so alphabetically, which means today we're heading out to Dallas, talking about the boys as the Dallas Cowboys kick off their camp in California. Bobby Belt going to join us from 105.3 The Fan. He covers the team, also covers the NFL draft for them as well. And I really like their draft. So we'll talk about that. Dak Prescott, the receiving room, the defense, and all those sorts of things. Always lots going on. Now we got reports that potentially Max Crosby would be in their sights. I don't know what it's going to cost them. The precedent was sent with the Baltimore Ravens before that was redacted. We'll have to see what happens. We'll do 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick, as we always do here on the show. Take your text to 1-833-401-1440, or feel free to email us, Connor at sports1440.ca. As Josh comes in and adjusts the camera. You can watch us on YouTube if you've never done so. If you like watching sports radio, you can do it. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Don and Paulson here as well. Donnie P, what is going on, my friend?
Not too much. Just basically, Brandon's been referring to today as Friday Junior all day. And for me, it is essentially Friday, because I am obviously off to the 6th tomorrow. I'm looking to have a great, very extended long weekend for myself, and I'm excited. I'm pumped up. It's the last hour really of my work week here, so I'm very excited.
Well, I'm jealous of you, but I don't know. I've been to Toronto. I guess I already went on vacation, so for me, maybe not as much. I'm happy for you though. Like, I highly recommend getting out to a Blue Jays game in Toronto if you haven't been. I found the Sky Dome, as I will always call it, to be actually quite awesome. Like, very easy to maneuver around, find your spot. You're probably going to get cheap seats for the second game you guys go to, because
First game,
the
second
first game
we have
expensive seats.
Yeah,
the hookup. Yeah. So for the first game you guys go to, cheap tickets, because nobody really wants to go watch this team right now. Maybe unless you're saying your goodbyes to a few certain players. But overall, that's going to be an awesome trip. The Hockey Hall of Fame is so cool. That's another one like you got to do. I know Brandon's going to Toronto later.
Last 2 weeks of August, I think. Or maybe
month.
last week of August. I don't remember.
And he's like, well, my buddies have already been. I said, then go by yourself. Like, just go geek out, walking around the Hockey Hall of Fame. Look at the trophies, the awards, the goalie mask exhibit is unbelievable. So there's a lot of things, a lot of fun to be had at the Hockey Hall of Fame. So have a good trip. I went to Wahlburger when I was there.
Yeah.
There was like at post game, anyone wearing Jays gear gets 10% off or something. So we went in. It was okay. I don't know if you've had it before.
I had it in Vegas.
Didn't blow my mind.
It was okay. When I say okay, it was good, but it wasn't like what I think everybody hypes it up to be.
Yeah, 100%.
It was good. It was a really quality burger. It just wasn't like that S tier option,
Yeah. Well, I don't really know. That's the top of those lists.
Yeah, it is the tops. It is the elites of the elites. It was good, but it wasn't sensational. Groundbreaking.
What does the S stand for?
Special.
Special? Okay. Good to know.
As far as I know, it's special, unless I'm a total moron, which is entirely possible.
Well, you said it, not me. I wouldn't take that route. We are going to get to 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick, but our mic is broken. So, Josh, you're going to slide in here, up on the big stage. All right. Well, while you get your mic set up, I'll just delay a little bit. In case you haven't heard this segment before, of course, we used to be Fantasy Frenzy. We're still going to be doing our fantasy thing, but we wanted to ramp things up a little bit, get some guests on this show, have a little back and forth. That's how we created 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick, where he throws a couple topics our way. We agree, we disagree, we discuss, and we love your feedback as well. To 1-833-401-1440. Let's get into it.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding. Round 1.
All right, fellas. So number 1 today, going back to your roots of this show, what's the worst fantasy football punishment between the two? 24 hours in Denny's with 30 minutes taken off for every pancake eaten, or public humiliation at a sporting event?
I went first yesterday, so
oh man, yeah. My memory sucks. To me, it's not even close. I would do the Denny's punishment in a second. To me, it doesn't even seem that hard. And I've seen a lot of people do an hour for each pancake or waffle you put down. Honestly, if I get there at like 6 a.m., and this could be wrong, I feel like I'm leaving by noon. Like maybe a little bit longer. Now, maybe you take some vitamins to help you get through it, and you just
24 pancakes in 6 hours?
Well, no, it'd be 18 pancakes. Oh, wait, sorry. You're depending on, I guess it depends on how many you're doing, like deducting. I don't know. Like, they're big pancakes. They fill you up. But I mean, I've gone to these places and, sat down, had 4, and I don't feel sick afterwards. So it's one of those ones that it happens all the time. And every year I'm like, that's not so bad. The one I do like, and I don't drink much anymore, so it wouldn't be as good as it used to be. But the guys who go to the bar at 7, 8 a.m. or whatever, and they can leave after drinking each beer knocks off 30 minutes or an hour. I think that's a funny one too. Although there could be some sickness, maybe you mix in some food while you're there. But no, Donovan, for me, it's not even close. The public humiliation would be way worse, in my opinion.
I'm going the opposite direction here. I don't think there's anything worse than being forced to just absolutely scarf down something. And it's one thing if it's like the entire different menu, then it would make things, I think, a little bit easier because you have a little variation in what you're eating. But to eat like pancakes or waffles, that one item, and like 18 of them in like I wouldn't be able to do that in 6 hours. I would, if I tried to do that in 6 hours, I feel like I would probably have some stuff coming out my mouth and it wouldn't be fun.
You have room for more. You're good to go.
So I don't know, man. Like I think, and then also add into the fact, because you're not going to be going to the Denny's alone. Like you're going to have people watching you, and it's just, I don't like feeling disgusting. That would make me feel disgusting.
Well, nobody knows you're there for that.
Well,
have you ever gone to Denny's and been like, I wonder what that guy's doing by himself, that freak? Like, there's no judgment at Denny's.
I mean, let's be real.
You judge people at Denny's.
The waitress is going to look at you and go, what a pig.
Well, you just, you say, hey, I'm here for a lost bet. I think part of it for me, though, is also intrigue. Like, I want to know if I could do it.
Fair enough. Like the 999 challenge.
Yeah. Like you might feel sick. It might be awful. But, and the worst, I mean, the get out of jail free card with Denny's is you're knocking time off. So you don't have to live there. Like you're going to be done in a day. I don't know. I think I'd like to try it. And I think we're doing Mackenzie had the idea. I think one of you kids was telling me about it, a fantasy league of 1440 employees.
Yeah.
And that could be the punishment because we're intrigued by it. We'll have to maybe get a sponsor involved. Maybe first round and you get I don't know, every pound
taco.
of wings or taco. Yeah. You put down, you get time off. I'm intrigued by it. I think that'd be a fun one to see if you could do it.
That was Mac's brainchild yesterday too. Get some co-hosts involved. We were like, we can get to 12.
Round 2.
Number 2. Who's better all time? Joe Sakic or Steve Yzerman? Player only, not counting front offices.
Yeah, if this was Steve Yzerman in the front office exec, he would be not even in the same stratosphere as Joe Sakic. But I'm gonna go. It's a good one. It's a tough one. I think I have to go Stevie Y. That team was just so damn competitive for so damn long. Like Stevie Y was the man, right? I mean, you look at some of the seasons of his career, you look at the longevity of his career. I mean, there's a reason he was revered the way he was. Joe Sakic, obviously an elite of the game as well. I lean Stevie Y. Obviously, the point totals are in Stevie Y's favor. Obviously, games played are obviously higher for Stevie Y as well. But I just think he was maybe marginally better. This is not like a wide margin here. This is just ever so slightly. I think I lean Steve Yzerman.
Yeah, this is one of those questions. Like it's so close, it's so good. You could either answer I'd be listening to. Like these are the guys I watched growing up. 2 great number 19s. When they went to the Olympics in 2002 and won gold, Joe Sakic was the bigger man. Took number 91 instead. So I'm going to lead Burnaby Joe. Also, the adversity he fought through. He literally stuck his hand into like a snowblower, blew it off. No big deal. Come back and play some really good hockey. No, they're both unbelievable players. 2 of the greatest to ever do it. Huge fan of both. For the sake of this debate, I'll lean Joe Sakic. 600-point seasons. Spread them out as well. Like Stevie Y, we know he was an incredible point producer, but down the stretch of his career in his 3rd final season, which he would have been a little bit older, wasn't the most productive point-wise. Sakic still had a 100-point year in his 3rd final season. So I'll give the edge to Sakic, but it is razor thin.
Final round.
All right, number 3, 3rd and final. Would you rather hit a walk-off home run or a game-winning buzzer beater? Regular season only.
Connor, I answered first last time.
Oh, I don't know. Another one. This is like both are unreal. This is like the Sakic versus Yzerman of winning a big game for your team.
It really is.
I would say I would probably go with walk-off home run. In a basketball game, you're putting up a lot of points anyways. What's the cap? 18,000 people? If I'm hitting a walk-off home run and I'm, hopefully not at a game, with the Angels, in early August, 1 o'clock after game with 2,000 fans
Such
in
an
the
unnecessary
stand.
shot
Yeah,
fired.
I mean, fine. The Jays, when they're a bad team, and Sunday afternoon, when no one's there, maybe it's not quite as much. But I'm thinking you're at like Wrigley or you're in the Bronx, maybe Dodger Stadium. You hit a walk-off in front of a sold-out crowd. That'd be pretty unbelievable. And hey, basketball players score tons of baskets in a season. The best home run hitter of all time. What was Barry Bonds? 72? That's the best. It doesn't happen quite as often. So I'm taking a walk-off home run, and I'm just really strutting my stuff on the walk around.
Of course, you have to.
Tossing that bat as well.
If you hit a walk-off homer, you have every right to do whatever celebration comes to mind. It is, I think you know exactly where I'm leaning. I'm more of a baseball guy over a basketball guy. I know the whole idea of this segment is to, disagree and kind of touch all the topics. But man, Josh, the walk-off homer is just different to me because, like you mentioned it off the top, Connor, it's the differential in points, right? With the NBA, there's just so many more points scored versus you can be in the bottom of the ninth and it is a 0-0 ball game and you can win it for your team 1-0 with a walk-off homer. You can win a walk-off homer in extras. There is just, especially if that thing is in the playoffs where you have 40,000+ fans and they're going bananas. Personally, I don't think there's a better playoff environment to playoff baseball. So I would also I would add that in there. Walk-off homers are so special.
I'd just like to remind you, the caveat was regular season only.
Well, whatever. But
so you can't talk about playoff baseball with this.
I'd have the exact same answer. It's 40,000 fans versus about 20. I think that also makes it more special.
If I'm hitting Kawhi's shot to beat Philly, unreal. Maybe I lean that way, but no, it's good question. Both would be unbelievable, but I think I'm going to lean the way of the home run in this one. Because I will never hit a home run in my life. That's just never going to happen. Things I've come to terms with. I'll never hit a hole-in-one, a home run, or a dunk in all likelihood. That was 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick. Another great addition. You can share your thoughts on 1-833-401-1440. Let us know. Tony says walk-off home run because I can shoot a basketball. Yeah, we could do those things. Can't hit a home run. It'd be really cool. Jane Victoria says Donnie just hates Vancouver. Yeah, Burnaby Joe. We know Donnie has something against them. I believe the snowblower actually ended Burnaby Joe's career from BC Oiler. You might be right. I remember hearing that story and just thinking, what are we doing? You don't do that. That's lesson 1. Northside Lou, Saki had the lethal wrist shot. He did. They're both so good here. Unbelievable. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will be continuing our look around the NFL season. We did have a question, someone asking, is it alphabetical or nickname, like Minnesota or Vikings? Alphabetical. Essentially just how it goes in the media guide. So I've just been scrolling down each day. I think tomorrow will be Denver, which is unfortunate because there's a Denver guest today on with Brandon. So maybe we'll skip that and get to them next week. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see. I know the Broncos media people are actually really good and they usually willing to hop on. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, we are just going by the city name. Okay, quick break. Coming back, we're going to talk some Dallas Cowboys. It is the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today. Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc. Kickoff is coming August 1st. Elks, Rough Riders at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The prehistoric party is back, presented by Purelator Tackle Hunger. Experience family-friendly fun all game long with the dinosaur-themed contest. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Don't let rookies scratch your custom wheels. Evolve Wheels and Tires uses premium touchless equipment designed to protect your wheel and tire investment. Trust the enthusiasts at Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Now at Pet Value, save $8 on select Performatrin Ultra Dry Dog Food, 15% on all Performatrin Culinary Dog Food, and buy one, get one free on all Oxbow Small Animal Hay. Shop your local Pet Value store and petvalue.ca.
Not sure where to turn? Remember 211, the number to contact for mental health, addiction, and community supports. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
My daddy always was a gentleman, never the kind to ever force his hand. He would always be the last one to raise his voice. If anybody ever put us down, well, you can bet that he would stand his ground. He would tell me, son, sometimes you got no choice. You got the king of it up, it causes a stir. Sometimes you gotta make some noise to be heard.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Welcome back. It is the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhockbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Talk to Trent. Trent is listening. He is, of course, a very big Dallas Cowboys fan, and he just texted in. It's a nice day, guys. Why do you got to wreck it by talking about my Cowboys? Well, you know, we're going to every NFL market alphabetically, and they were next up on the list. And you know what? I probably say this every year. I'm a little bullish on the Cowboys. I like what they've been doing. I love their receivers. For those of you who have been listening to this program since the launch of the station in 2023, we are a very pro Dak Prescott team. As we moved along, I like the moving on from Michael Parsons. I love bringing in Quinnen Williams. I like Kenny Clark. They got Rashawn Gary. You're building up something here. And I love their draft. Caleb Downs, phenomenal. Like that's going to be a player right there. And we're going to dive into it in our next segment here. Of course, brought to you by elksnation.ca. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage you're going to find. elksnation.ca. And of course, podcasts Monday and Friday with Eddie Steele and our very own Declan Kruger. Right now, we bring in Bobby Belt, covers the team for 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Bobby, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Let's make Trent feel a little better.
Absolutely. I mean, it can't be all that bad. You got the Giants in your division. You got the Commanders, the Eagles. We shall see what happens. But let's start off with the man, Dak Prescott, who seems to be very polarizing. And I think when you are the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, that just comes with the territory. But he's got a couple great receivers, a solid tight end. The run game we saw last year can do pretty well. How are you feeling about Dak Prescott this upcoming season?
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear I'm amongst allies here, because even in Cowboys Nation, it's a little hit or miss in terms of Dak support. But to me, one of the litmus tests of are you somebody who I think understands the game of football and what they're watching is, what's your opinion of Dak Prescott? If you're trying to tell me he's like outside the top 15 or something, then it's like, all right, well, I mean, you're just hot taking at this point. But if you're somebody who looks at it and goes like, yeah, he's got his flaws, but that's somebody who's one of the better quarterbacks most times when he steps on the field, then that's a real conversation that can be had. But I mean, he's obviously coming off of a big time year last year. I wouldn't put him above Joe Burrow, like apparently the NFL players did in their top 100 voting recently. But no, he's at this is all kind of coming together in what is essentially a 3-year window for Dallas. The Cowboys are trying to rip open a 3-year window of contention and really push to compete in this next couple years. And when they get to the end of that, if they haven't done it yet, then they'll kind of throw their hands up and go, okay, didn't work. Time to probably hit the reset button on a lot of this. But until then, they're going to be incredibly aggressive in trying to maximize the most of these next 3 years and maximize what's the back end of Dak's career.
You talk about the next 3 years, sir, and it's funny because one of the guys I work with here in the building is a Cowboys fan. And we got on the topic of Max Crosby and, that trade that fell through with the Ravens and the long-term effects of what could be the injury. And it kind of came out like the next 2 years should be fine, but beyond that, we don't really know. And now I'm tying it in because I'm seeing that maybe the Cowboys could have interest in Max Crosby. And if there is that 2-3 year window where he could come in and be very serviceable as a pass rusher, the guy's got a relentless motor. I think it'd be a huge addition for this team. And obviously for the Raiders, you get a little draft compensation. Have you heard these rumors? And do you think there's any truth to it that they could look to acquire Mad Max?
Yeah, I mean, they were 100% in on the Crosby negotiations back when they first occurred. They submitted their offer. It wasn't ultimately good enough to surpass what the Ravens did. So they lost out on it. But I mean, they had put a deal forward. Now, they can't present that same deal that they presented back a few months ago because part of their package that they included was Oso Odigizua, their defensive tackle, who ended up getting traded to the 49ers afterwards. So they can't do the exact same package. But yeah, I think once everybody feels comfortable about Max Crosby's knee and where he's at, then I think you're probably going to see everybody just kind of let things play out in Vegas, the entire league, and Dallas will be one of them, monitoring what's happening over there and monitoring their own situation with their own pass rush and seeing what they can generate. And I think after that, they'll probably, maybe they get 2-3 weeks into the season and they go, you know what, let's pick up the phone and talk to the Raiders and see what it would take to part with him. But that entire building's got a lot of really high levels of respect for Max Crosby as a player. He's from Colleyville, which is in the DFW area. He, really liked the idea of going to the Cowboys when he was first coming out in the draft, and it just didn't work out. But that's something that I think would be a big fit for everybody. And again, it fits that window, like you just said, of what the Cowboys are looking at.
I am a Chargers fan, and I would love to see him leave the division. That guy is an absolute animal. So, yeah, I think that would be a good move if the Cowboys could find a way to make it happen. Now, let's just go back to the offensive side of the football. Javonte Williams, coming over from the Denver Broncos last year, burst onto the scene in that opening night game against the Philadelphia Eagles. In the loss, had the couple touchdowns, I remember, because he was on my bench in fantasy. But what are you expecting out of him in year 2 with the Cowboys?
Yeah, look, I think that everybody keeps talking about Dallas and their offense. And if they were to just get, average defense, they'll be up near the top in contenders. That's how everybody keeps talking about it. That's assuming Dallas's offense is going to be exactly what it was last year. And I think some regression is natural because they played at such a high level for so much of the year that some of that's to be expected, just regression to the mean. I think Javonte Williams is a candidate for that. I mean, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, that was the best year of his career. Another year older, running backs age rather rapidly. Not saying that he will, but the second half of last year, he was not nearly as productive. And that's a physical runner who takes a beating on his body pretty consistently. So I think that he'll be good for them. He'll be their lead back. I don't know that he'll have a year as good as he did last year. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas over the course of the next month just kind of hunts the waiver wire free agency, just as, all right, let's see if we can do something to just solidify our running back depth a little bit ahead of the season, just in case we have a regression with Javonte.
To jump over to the defensive side of the ball, Bobby. Obviously, the Cowboys made the big trade for Quinnen Williams there last year at the deadline, but despite that, now a lot of this, they were really bad on the defensive side of the ball prior to the acquisition, but they still end the year last in terms of points per game allowed. On the defensive side of the ball, they just simply couldn't get it done. They make some additions onto the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, here in the offseason, that was kind of their main focus, right? So I guess the question here is, did they do enough on the defensive side of the ball to make their defense at least good enough so that the offense can kind of carry this team, into a playoff spot and maybe, get them trending in the right direction?
Yeah, literally could not be worse than it was last year. It was
Yeah.
so. I mean, you were saying it was bad. It was bad. It's historically bad. They last year averaged 2.97 yards per drive, or points per drive allowed. That means on average, teams were scoring a field goal every single time they got the ball, and you cannot. That's the highest rate in the history of the NFL. It was from that metric the worst defense in NFL history. It was absolutely brutal. They couldn't get stops ever. They had blown coverage assignments that you shouldn't see in high school. And so it was really, really bad last year. And to their credit, they blew out half the defensive roster. They got a new defensive coordinator in here, a guy with a lot of high praise, a young guy, Christian Parker, coming from the Vic Fangio scheme. So yeah, they'll be better. How good is that? Like you say, is it just let's be good enough to just give the offense a couple extra possessions? That'd be great. I think they want you are not going to turn this into a top 10 unit overnight. It's not possible. They don't have the resources to be able to do that kind of an overhaul. But yeah, I think their target goal would be if we can finish top 15, roughly, if we can be in like middle of the pack defense, we're going to be happy with that. And that's all going to hinge on, is you're banking on Rashawn Gary as your main pass rusher and Donovan Ezra-Rock with the second-year player. Are they competent enough? And then in the secondary, is Caleb Downs who you drafted him to be? If those two things are yes, then yeah, they'll be probably middle of the pack and be in decent shape.
To jump over to the coaching side here in Brian Schottenheimer, obviously he was a big story going into last season and what so forth. But what was your kind of analysis of him as a coach, and what's kind of your expectation for him going forward here? Is there a potential little seat warmer on if things don't go well again this season, or what's kind of the case for you?
Yeah, I think when we talk about that 3-year window, he's just considered part of that in large part. Like, hey, this is kind of, you're the guy that we've decided to roll with here. They could absolutely go a different direction if things crash and burn in the next year or two. But I think everybody really, from top to bottom, believes in what he's building culture-wise. And look, I know there was a lot of criticism when he was first hired as just kind of being like, oh, what a boring hire. And that's, that's always the bridesmaid, never the bride that you went and hired, and just another puppet for the Joneses. He is a guy who, if you think of it in, let's think in U.S. political terms, he's the guy who's been running for president his whole life. Like, all the stuff that he's been doing in his career has been to run for president at some point. And so he's one of those guys that's like, well, at the very least, he's going to be prepared for what this is. And he's been with the Jets, which can be a disaster area. His dad was Marty Schottenheimer. So he's had all this unique preparation for the Dallas job that a lot of coaches don't have walking into it. And I think he's been prepared for every sort of curveball that's been thrown at him. His culture, his control of the locker room, that gets an A+ for the first year that he's been here. His offensive play calling, probably a B+, better than what people I think thought it was going to be. Now it's, though, you got that first year to kind of sort some things out. Now we're starting the clock on your evaluation of, were you the guy for the job or not? It starts with this year. And I think he's one of the top half of the league head coaches. I really like him. I think he's good, and I think he's going to prove to be that.
To jump back on the offensive side of the ball, you did kind of touch on them earlier, but obviously CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, your big key headliners here. From a fantasy point of view, CeeDee Lamb, obviously, he's the guy, right? But when he was out, George Pickens was an absolute monster. We didn't see them kind of together at times, obviously, and when one was out, the other was absolutely dynamic. Can these guys coexist and be like that, both top 10 options, do you think? Or what do you think do you think this offense can support both of them at the exact same time? Because CeeDee Lamb kind of fell off when Pickens was taking the world by storm here in the second half.
Yeah, so CeeDee missed 4 games last year, 4 or 5 games with an injury. That freed up some of it. And they've got a third receiver that they really like that's come on a little bit, Ryan Flanoy, who had 2 separate 100-yard games last year as well. Yeah, I would say that if they both are healthy for 17 games, especially if you're just looking at it from fantasy perspective, if you're in a PPR league, CD's the guy. That's the one that you would go for because he's going to be the 112 catches for 1,300 yards kind of guy. George Pickens is the vertical threat in this offense. He's the vertical threat in every offense he's ever been in. I think since he entered the league, there's nobody with as many targets as him who has as high of a yards per catch as he does. So he's always been a 16, 17, 18 yards per catch kind of guy. That'll continue. When we talk about some regression to the mean, I would expect some of that with Pickens. I think Lamb is who he is all the time, steady as she goes, and he's money for 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns minimum every year. Pickens, who was 1,500 last year, he very well could be more like 11 or 1,000 or something like that, because I do think they want to get back to focused on running some of the ball a little bit, executing a little bit better in the red zone, and that may naturally just kind of take away from some of his options as well.
Bobby Belt joining us here on The Frenzy, taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys. Bobby covers the team with 105.3 The Fan. Now, I want to look at your first-round pick with Caleb Downs, and I know you do the draft for DallasCowboys.com, and the safety devaluation for me is just crazy, especially for a guy like Downs. I mean, I was banging the drum for a long time for him, and I just look at guys like Derwin James and Kyle Hamilton who can be so versatile. And with the NFL, you know, how tight ends are getting super athletic, you need a guy that can do that, but also, you know, slide into the slot and, you know, maybe play high safety as well. And I just think that this was such a good pick for them. He burst onto the scene with Alabama, was an absolute tackling machine, transfers to Ohio State, continues to put up great numbers, intercepting the ball as well. What do you expect his usage to be like in year one?
So if they're in nickel, if they're in the 3-corner, 2-safety look, which is most of the time, most teams doing the NFL are in nickel because of 3 receiver sets. When they're in nickel, he will be a corner. He'll be playing the slot. And that is going to be his responsibility. When they're in base, if they're in 2-corner looks, then he slides to safety and he'll play safety there. But you're right. The value of safety has changed to a great degree because they don't ask safeties to just be safeties anymore. You're going to be asked to be a nickel corner in those sort of sets, the 3-3-5 sets, or however you want to do it, 2-4-5. You're going to have, you know, play at the line of scrimmage, play in the box, play deep. You're asked to do a bunch of different things. We talked to Christian Parker, the Cowboys defensive coordinator at the Combine in Indianapolis on 105.3 The Fan, and we had asked him about the safety position and the value that goes into it. And he said they're asked to do so much now, specifically in his kind of scheme, that it's like having a 12th starter. You really can't devalue what they do anymore. And I think specifically when you see a team like Seattle have the success they did last year with Nicky Manwari coming on the scene and doing a big thing, and you mentioned Derwin James and Kyle Hamilton, and, you know, in past years we've seen Quandre Diggs and different guys have success playing that kind of a role. That's the way forward. And I know they're really excited about what he can do at the line of scrimmage, what he can do in the slot. He's going to be a big difference maker for them because his mental processing is just at such an elite high level.
Yeah, I love that pick when I saw it. And yeah, I mean, it's weird. We do a lot of draft talk on the show and we do our mock drafts. And I just think that guy is just such a good player. And I thought for the Cowboys, really good pickup. Now, training camp gets going today, I believe, from Oxnard. Is any specific battle you're looking forward to the most?
They're pretty set in their starting positions right now. They've talked about a competition at left tackle between Tyler Guyton, their first-round pick from a few years ago, and Nate Thomas, one of their backup tackles. Guyton should win that job, but I think that's more just an attempt to kind of motivate a little bit. But they've opened that up as a competition. On the defensive side of the ball, how they shuffle the corner question is going to be interesting. They signed Kobe Durant from the Rams this offseason. Caleb Downs will be playing corner and nickel looks. So, all right, who's that third corner in the mix? Is it Savone Revel, your third-round pick from last year, who was thought to be a first or second-round pick before he had the knee injury? Or is it Deron Bland, one of the higher-paid corners in the league, who has dealt with foot injuries the last 2 years and has fallen a little behind? How that competition shakes out at corner will probably determine which one of those two between Revel and Bland are here for the long term. So that's worth watching. And then for Cowboys fans, really like in the nitty-gritty, it's who's going to wear the green dot. They don't know. Their linebacker position has been so thin. They got to figure out who's going to be doing a lot of the communicating, because that was such a big problem for them last year, and it's so important in Parker's defense. So the leader of the clubhouse right now is DeMarvin Overshown at linebacker, but that could end up with a defensive back if they don't feel good about the linebackers.
Bobby, great stuff. Really appreciate you taking some time to join us today, and enjoy camp.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one.
There you go. Bobby Belt covers the Cowboys for 105.3 The Fan. Also does some draft work there on at DallasCowboys.com. Give him a follow on X at Bobby Belt TX. The Cowboys fans listening. Well, Trent says, Cowboys should have a great year as long as Jerry doesn't screw it up. 10-10 Ken, as a 40-plus year Cowboy fan, as long as Jerry Jones is alive and Dak is your QB, the only thing you will ever win is your fantasy league. This is a pro-Dak show, but you might have something with Jerry. A hands-on owner can be tough. Triple C in the truck says that the Cowboys suck. MTR says, we'll never get to San Fran. Shaking my head. Well, the problem is that alphabetically, yes, S is further down. And the beat reporters in San Fran can be very tough to wrangle. If I book one now, they might be good to join us at the end of August. There's 2 or 3 that get back to you, but it's tough. Like Duke's here. He'll nod along if he agrees. Slow nod. Donovan, you've booked shows.
Oh, yeah.
You can attest. It's very tough.
I've been ghosted by every one of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
I will say it's right up there with like a PWHL guest. Very tough to book sometimes, but we will try, as we do with all sports. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Jason Gregor Show and more. It is the Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
At Papa John's, we know it's not just a pizza. It's a family gathering. A happy birthday, a special celebration, or just a sigh of relief at the end of a busy day. For a limited time, get large one-topping pizzas for only $14.99 each on original, thin, or New York-style crust. Use promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt, so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Because 60 minutes is just about enough. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
I'm not worried about that. No, I just meant for... '45. Welcome back to the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Some text rolling in here. Of course, you can reach us, 1-833-401-1440. Donnie B. Jesse asks, hey, boys, any chance the Jays don't sell off and hope to catch fire? Any chance?
No. Their window to do that, if you listened to Douglas in the mornings over the last couple of days, we've had many baseball guests on, and we had Mike Wilner on to talk about the keys for the Jays would have been to have won. Basically, they needed to sweep this series against the Nationals, and then the other teams in front of them would have needed to lose, and they had to climb like 5 teams to even make the wild card, to even get their names in the mix here. So I would just suggest that most likely not. And this report coming down over the last 20 minutes ago, just under 20 minutes ago, from John Heyman, of course, trusted MLB insider, not John Morosi, because we don't trust him anymore.
I don't trust any John now. Okay.
John Heyman saying that the Phillies are indeed very interested in Dalton Varsho. His dad, I believe, did play for the Phillies as well. So that would be kind of a family connection type thing. I can't even say believe. I'm about 99% sure he played for the Phillies.
So for the Jays to get a wild card spot, they would have to surpass the Tigers, Orioles, Mariners, Twins, Astros. Then you got the Guardians, Red Sox, Yankees in that position. Like, it's 5.5 games. It's a lot of people.
They're dead.
You have to get going. But you look at the Astros, who are not even in the playoff spot. 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. That would be a tough one to surpass. The Red Sox, as we know, playing good ball. Yankees, too. So I kind of feel like the Astros might surpass Cleveland. The rest of the teams, I think they could. But you have to get on a run. And what evidence have we seen from this Blue Jays team that they're capable of going on a run? It's just, what are they going to do? Win 1-0? It just doesn't feel like very likely.
Well, it's just like, look at how close they are to last in the whole damn American League. Like, they are 4th last in the AL. They have to jump so many teams to even get within a sniff. And like, I get they're 5.5 games back, but when your team is played this bad, like when your team just struggles at seemingly everything, when you have a minus 60 run differential, you don't deserve to be holding. You are a seller. And I like the question because I expect them to honestly heat up after the deadline once the pressure's off, and they do kind of the classic, we'll call it the old Buffalo Sabres routine prior to this past season, where you get everybody all excited and, it was just, excuse for the first half of the season. And then for post-deadline, you mysteriously heat up when the pressure's off you. I actually expect that to happen, and I expect Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to pull his head out of his you-know-what over the last probably month or so of the season. But no, they deserve to be sellers. They should be sellers. They've got some pieces they can capitalize on, Varsho and Gausman in particular. While I hope they keep Gausman because of how much he means to this team, I fully expect them to be selling off probably at least 4 pieces.
Some more text here rolling in. MTR says the Cowboys are going to win the East. Hate the Eagles so much, and that bum Triple C. Hate the Cowboys too, but at least they got the cheerleaders. King of Four Nasty says, good morning, gentlemen. Would it be possible for the Jays to trade Vladdy? Is it a stupid question? Would there be interest for a return? What do you think? I think a lot of teams would love to take him on.
But that contract, man.
And next year with what we assume is going to be a cap coming in, like, that's a lot of money.
That contract, I don't want to say untradeable, but he might be untradeable.
Gregor asked me in passing quickly last week, do you think Major League Baseball starts on time next year?
God, no.
I was like, no. I think they play. There's too much money at stake, but we know millionaires and billionaires debate very slowly.
If they start on time, that might be one of the most shocking moments of my life. Honestly. Like, there is, in my mind, 0.0001% chance they start.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I would be so incredibly stunned. Like, that would be almost the same. I'm almost as confident in that as Jason was that the Oilers would beat the Sharks.
Did you shave your head?
No, I would not shave my head. However, I am nearly certain enough that I would make that bet.
Yeah. I mean, baseball loves their fans, but they don't love them enough to get in the way of business. They're going to figure that out at their own pace. And I'm with you. I'd love to see it happen, but I wouldn't make the bet. The Jays aren't sellers. The management is incompetent from awful lot.
I think the management just isn't competent, to be honest.
It's funny, hey, like last year at this time, or into the playoffs, we're like, you know what? Maybe we were wrong about Jays management, and then we're right back where we are.
Well, everybody wanted to push that narrative, and I still felt the exact same way. Look at their free agent signings from last year. Anthony Santander. Max Scherzer stunk until the playoffs miraculously. Like, every free agent signing, other than the random odd ones that were worth nothing, they all missed. They were still the same management group. It's just they caught magic in a bottle and somehow found their way into a World Series. And I'm not going to discredit them. Like, they played their guts out. They were gutsy. That team deserved it last year. But what moves has this management group done that's inspired confidence? Through even last season, their moves stunk. They got very lucky in terms of how their team played. They just had their management group got career seasons out of George Springer. You name them, like Nathan Lucas. Who saw Nathan Lucas? Like, the Varland move was really good at the deadline, and the Bieber move was okay. But like, for the most part, like, trades have been okay at the deadline. It's just like their free agency sucked. And
I'd say no. Cease was okay.
This past year, Cease was great.
But you also get the benefit of players looking at the team that just went to the World Series.
Yes, but they have failed to recruit for the most part, other than Dylan Cease. You signed Dylan Cease. You're losing Bo Bichette, who is undisputedly your second best hitter. You're losing Bo Bichette, and your key return, this is not to diminish what he's done, but your key player you're bringing back is Kaz Okamoto, who's not played a single Major League Baseball game. That is your Bo Bichette replacement. I've loved Kaz Okamoto's game. Don't get me wrong. He's been where would this Jays team be? They'd be right beside the Los Angeles Angels if not for Kaz Okamoto. But like, are we for real here? Your replacement is a guy who's never played an MLB game. That screams incompetence. I will never have almost anything positive to say about that front office because they've proven time and time again that they're incompetent. They've made a couple good moves. Cease, great move. Varland, great move. But outside of a couple, they got lucky with Louis Varland. Did anybody see Louis Varland becoming this? No, they thought Louis Varland would be like a 6th inning or 7th inning reliever at best.
Too bad Okamoto wasn't like Shohei or is Suzuki, eh? When you said guys wouldn't play the majors, those guys came to mind. Like, well, they were pretty good, but
of course, but like
it hasn't been good enough. And the direct, like without having Bo in the lineup and his bat, I think that's also impacted Vladdy.
Oh, of course it has.
Like
he has no protection this year, and so I think Vladdy will bounce back next year. But that's all dependent on them making an offensive signing. They just don't. I don't know what their obsession is with defense. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You can win every team gold glove for 4 years and be a team gold glove dynasty. Go for it. By all means. It just doesn't make any sense to me to be like, look at the way that baseball has trended. It's all about offense and pitching. You want to sign all the pitching in the world? Go for it. I will be right there. I'll be first in line championing your pitching signings because great job. But man, you've got to sign a lot more offense if you're losing Bo Bichette than just Kaz Okamoto.
Good round. Coming up next, it will be the Lowdown with Flow Tide. They've got a great show coming up. Bag Milk will be by and Jonathan Willis. Then with the Gregor Show today. Yaremchuk's going to be in studio for a couple segments. We got Livingston. We got Thirsty Thursday. We'll talk some Elks, some NFL, some NHL, 2 to 6, and then Fox Sports Radio. And then Brandon Douglas back tomorrow morning to get your Friday started. Thank you guys for joining us. For everyone here in studio, we do appreciate it. Right now, we're going to get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Cattail Crossing. We heard about Golf Glow Night. Every second Friday, your chance to play after sunset, 35 minutes after. In fact, $65 a person includes 9 holes walking, 1 glow ball rental, and a $5 voucher to Out of Bounds. Book now at cattailcrossing.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
There you go.
We have another season-ending injury for the Carolina Panthers. Wide receiver rookie Chris Brazzell, second, has gone down with a season-ending LCL tear to go alongside their edge, Nick Scorton. MLB action, you've got a couple of games underway. You have the Texas Rangers up 2-1 on Tampa Bay Rays in the top of the 6th. The Twins and Royals are knotted at 1s after the first inning. Yankees and White Sox get underway in just over an hour's time. Same with the Cubbies and Cardinals. Games later on in the day sees the Padres and Giants meeting up in a Battle of California. The Dodgers host the Mariners. The Red Sox are taking on the Athletics, and the Braves clash with the Nationals. Coming up, it is the Lowdown with Flow Tide. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 14.